What's good, everybody? It's John. Come back at another video. So this video is actually inspired by Nelson Mandela, and the quote is as follows. It says, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." See, this is true because there, like, there's no excitement in doing the things that you know that you can already do, by doing the things that you've already done, if there's no greater purpose behind it, right? I want to break this down using an example, using something that I learned from the late great Bob Proctor, right? One of my mentors that I learned a great deal from on my journey of personal development and growth. And Bob Proctor broke it down and explained that there were three types of goals, right? There is an A-type goal, B-type goal, and C-type goal. So an A-type goal is effectively something that you know you can do, that you've done before. Typically something that you know you can do, and usually it's something that you know you can do because you've done it already. Like, for example, an A-type goal, this can be something as simple as, go walk your dog or go do 10 push-ups, right? Like, these are things that you know you can do because you've done it already, or that they're just easy. So if they're that easy, and of course you are certain that you can do it, there's going to be very little excitement or passion in that, because it's almost going to be like a to-do list item, right? Then there's B-type goals. These are the type of goals where you think you can do it, right? And it can be an example where, let's just say someone drives a Toyota Camry, and their Toyota Camry is breaking down and it's time for them to get a new vehicle, right? A B-type goal would be, hey, let me just get another brand new Toyota Camry, right? It's like, because you've already owned that vehicle before, then chances are you're capable of, being able to obtain enough money to be able to get that same vehicle again. But I guess that there could be a little more passion, but this is something that you've already done, that you've experienced, right? This is something that you think, a goal that you think you can get, because all the evidence points to you being able to do it, right? Then there is a C-type goal, and these are the North Stars. These are like the big goals, the big dreams. And the C-type goals are effectively goals that you don't even know whether you can get it, that you don't even know if it's even possible, right? It's just that far from reach for you to get it. And the reason why C-type goals are powerful is because if you have a goal that's so far out, that's out of reach, then the way for you to get there will require consistency, discipline, resilience, and in pretty much all the cases, it's going to require you to grow. It's going to require you to get better, to improve, right? The reason we as people set goals, we think that it's for the destination, right? Because we can want to go somewhere, be somewhere, or achieve something. The motivation is, of course, the destination, but the true purpose of goal setting is so that you can actually grow, is so that you can get better, is so that you can tap into a side that you didn't even know existed within you, and bring out that new, better, improved version to the surface, so that you can move closer to your goal and ultimately achieve it, right? Let me give you guys another example of the A, B, and C type goals, right? Now I'll use Martin Luther King Jr. as an example, right? Martin Luther King Jr. was a pastor, so I'm sure he's delivered many sermons, right? Many church sessions for people. And so an A-type goal would be for him to deliver a sermon, would be for him to do one church session for the people at his church, right? There, of course, he can be passionate about it, right? Because he's a pastor, but there is less passion in that because it's something that he's already done, that he knows he can do because he's done it so many times, right? A B-type goal could be him delivering a sermon to an entire arena of people, where you have some churches that can hold a few hundred people to maybe 1,000, depending on how big the church is, right? To an arena, which most arenas, at least here in the United States, can house anywhere from 16,000 to 20,000 people, right? That would be a B-type goal, ideally, because It's something that I'm sure he thinks he can do, because if he's done sermons for hundreds of people, or to like up to like 1,000 people, then if he's able to promote the event enough and all these things, right, and enough people attend, then I'm sure he believes that he's capable of doing that, right? Now, the C type goal would be what he did when he delivered the I Have a Dream speech, when he led the march in Washington, D.C. and delivered that speech, because that speech was delivered in front of 250,000 people. So, to put into context, here in the United States, a stadium can, not an arena, a stadium can have anywhere, like, where the football teams play, a stadium can have anywhere between 80,000 to 100,000 people. And so if he delivered a speech to 250,000 people, then effectively he delivered that I Have a Dream speech to 2.5 to 3 stadiums worth of people, right? That would be a C-type goal, because for a lot of people that would be seen as impossible. That would be, just like, most people would see that as a goal that's absolutely impossible to do. And yet he was able to achieve that. He was able to make it happen. And because he was able to do that, especially the contents of the speech, where he was, trying to uplift his people and share the struggles that African Americans were facing, so the whole world could understand, right? This was a time during, segregation, right? He provided so much value and helped uplift his people and uplift the hearts and the lives of all walks of life that were there present, because his goal was to unite people. And so because he was able to touch the lives of so many people, he's effectively remembered forever in United States history, right? This is what it's all about, right? Nelson Mandela quote of saying there's no passion to be found playing small. What good is there to do things that you can do, right? Of just living your life, of just doing pretty much to-do list items, right? There's not really any passion. There's not really any excitement, because you can do it. You can already get it done. And it's just, if you are capable of more, if you can accomplish more, but more importantly, if you can become more, right? There is passion behind that, because then there's reason, there's motivation, there's purpose, right? You're striving for a greater purpose. You're going after a larger goal that is meaningful, that many people would probably deem to be impossible until it gets done, right? There's no passion in settling for a life that is less than the one you're capable of living. Just imagine if you had the potential to be, to be one of the biggest business owners in a certain space. Like, say for example, you are passionate about clothing, and say you are capable, because you are, right, that you are capable of becoming the biggest, making the biggest fashion company in the world, right? But rather than doing that, you settle for, what it is that you're doing right now. Say you're working as a cashier somewhere, right? You put your dreams on pause, and then you ultimately give up your dreams, because you're just focused on what it is that you're doing right in front of you, right? You don't think your dream is ever possible for you to achieve. Then you are probably going to be, not probably, most likely, right, or pretty much certain, that you're going to live a life that's like on the unhappier side, because you're not doing what you're truly passionate about, and you're not going after the big goals and the big dreams, right? Most people settle for less. Most people will just take the route that's comfortable. They'll just see what everyone else is doing, and they'll fall in line. If other people, if let's say their parents or the people that's around them, whatever, are living a certain lifestyle or operating in a certain fashion, it's easy and comfortable for them to just fall in line, because it's like, okay, if everyone around me is doing this thing, then they all can't be wrong, right? So if I just do what they're doing, then I can ensure that I just live a normal life like everyone. But you're your own unique person, and you have infinite potential. So you can actually take life as far as you want to. Let me give you another example, right? We have access to a mind. We have access to an imagination. With this imagination, with this imagination, we can create anything that we want. Anything that we want in our minds, we can create the life that we want. We can create anything about us. We can create anything in our mind. So knowing we have the power to create anything, why would you simply settle for creating the things that already exist? What joy is there? What excitement is there for you to use the gift that you were given to make anything you want, to just make more of what already is, or more of what already happened, right? Wouldn't it be more beneficial for you to create the things that have yet to exist, or right, like to begin creating what it is that you want to experience, right? If you have access to that power, you have access to that gift, and yet most people don't utilize it. Like, what you need to remember is that if you can envision it, if you can imagine it in your mind, then that means you can hold it in your hand, because you were not given the power to imagine something without bringing it out to the surface, without bringing it to the physical world. You were given that power, right? It's a saying, if you can hold it in your mind, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you understand that and believe that and accept that, then you wouldn't settle for less. Because if I can create anything, why would I just choose to create small things when I can just choose to create big things, where that it can actually change the world and move the needle and really affect the lives of other people for the better, right? If I can truly leave my fingerprint on the world, why would I choose not to, right? Because me leaving my fingerprint, that's me making a difference. That's me adjusting the world the way I see fit, right? And I think everyone would want to do that. It's just many people don't believe that they're capable, don't believe that they're worthy, and don't believe that they're good enough. But going after the big goals, that is what really brings out the passion, because that's what lights a fire within you, because you're going after something meaningful. You're going after something that most people say is impossible, that most people wouldn't even try. Or for the people that do try, they'll try and then give up because they'll think that it's not for them. But if you're someone that strives and goes after, right, it's inevitable for you to get there. As long as you keep at it, right, you will eventually get there. And then when you get there, that dream that everyone labeled would be impossible is now suddenly possible, because now everyone else sees it with their own two eyes, right? Most people are going to call you delusional and say you're crazy until it happens and it gets done. And then after that, then everyone will say that you were a genius this entire time, that you were just ahead of your time, right? It's just that you had a dream and a vision, and you worked towards that each and every day, even if it was a goal that seemed so far out of reach, that seemed impossible. You didn't think it was impossible because you've already envisioned it, you've already seen it, and all you're doing is just going through the motions and putting one foot in front of the other to get there, right? There is no passion to be found playing small, because the true excitement is striving for greatness, is going after the C-type goal, going after the North Star, because then it takes something out of you, and it requires more out of you that, of course, has always existed, but you probably didn't know was there. And it requires you to be better. It requires you to step into a new version of yourself, to tap into new energy, to tap into positivity, to have the right attitude, right? Because it's going to be bumps along the road, there's going to be obstacles, and guess what? The people who are truly successful, these are the people that still have the right attitude and maintain the right attitude and say, you know what? I'm still going to win. It's still going to happen. I'm going to keep going, right? And they just allow the rest of the pieces to fall into place. So once again, the quote is, there is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. We were only given one opportunity, one shot in this lifetime. Why would we settle for anything less than what we're capable of? Why would we? It's a lot easier, right? It's a lot more comfortable to just fall in line with everyone else. But then what good is that if you are your own unique person, you have your own unique personality, your own unique perspective, and you can offer so much to the world? What good is it to just fall in line and just be a number, to just be a statistic, right? Like, why not stand out? Why not do what you're passionate about? Why not always look for ways to scale it, right? To 10x something. If you're serving one person, figure out how you can serve 10 people. If you normally serve 10 people, figure out a way to serve 100 people. If you serve 100, right? and look for ways to keep growing and bring things at a larger scale so that you can influence more people, provide more value to people, and ultimately improve the world. Because it's the people who help people or provide value to people or solve problems for people on a large scale. Those are the people that actually push the world forward. And you have that same power too. Just imagine you were destined to live life beyond your wildest dreams and imagination, and you decided to just settle for less, to just settle for what everyone else has because that's normal, right? If you have all that potential within you, you are going to live a life full of frustration because it's going to feel as though you didn't get your money's worth. It's going to feel as though you settled for less. And there's no excitement in, if you are someone that feels as though you're intelligent, right? Another example, right? If you're someone that feels intelligent, that you feel that you can do good work, it won't be exciting for you to have to do these mundane tasks where you just feel like you're a hamster on the wheel rather than like you're actually utilizing your intelligence to find a solution or to like contribute, right? No one wants to feel as though they're capable of contributing and that their opinion is not needed, or that, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, this is what it all means. So I want you to have a worthwhile goal, a worthwhile dream, and for you to strive at it each and every day, right? Find something that you can, that's important to you, that you want to go after, that you can make progress even outside of like school and work. So then it feels as though every day you have a brand new opportunity to work towards that dream, that each and every day you can make progress in that direction rather than just kind of like sitting back and letting time and life go by and you're just like being taken wherever it takes you, right? Like, you have infinite potential. Your power is unlimited. Your imagination, your creativity is infinite and unlimited. So knowing that you can tap into anything, that you can create anything, why would you just settle for the life that you have, or for just going small, right? Why not just shoot for the moon, right? So this is what it all is. Find a goal that's worthwhile to you, because then that's when the passion exists, that's when the fire exists within you, and then you want to go at it each and every day with discipline and consistency in order for you to get there. And that ends up being a life that's worth living, because at a certain point you're going to be much older and you want to have an amazing, cool, exciting life story. Well, life that was filled with that adventure, but amazing stories for you to tell. You don't want to get to the point where you get much older and you look back on life and then nothing really happened, right? Like, you want it to be that you lived it beyond your wildest dreams and imagination, and you had a life that it felt like you lived 100 lifetimes in this one lifetime, rather than for it to just be that you're just going through the motions in life, right? There's no fun, there's no excitement, there's no joy. So hopefully this video means something to you. Hopefully this video, you can begin thinking about what is that you want to do out of life, and think about like, how can you, whatever it is that you're passionate about, how can you find the C-type goal, something that is massive for you to go after, so that you are actually passionate and motivated to go after, knowing that you're going to make a difference, right? So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe as we're on the road to a million subscriber, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.